31 days into an escalating conflict, the United States military has drained roughly $50 billion in an attempt to force Iran to back down. Yet the Iranian government remains firmly in place, and their military capabilities appear intact. What's driving the urgency in Washington is a specific discovery. Iran is currently sitting on a stockpile of nearly 450 kilograms of highly enriched uranium. Refining raw uranium from 0 to a 60% purity level is a slow, resource-heavy climb requiring massive industrial effort. But once crossed, the final jump to the 90% purity required for a weapons-grade core takes only weeks. According to Israeli intelligence assessments, that 450-kilogram stockpile means Iran already possesses enough 60% enriched material to rapidly assemble up to 9 atom bombs. Because that timeline is so compressed, traditional aerial bombardments and proxy skirmishes are failing to neutralize the threat. The U.S. is caught against a ticking clock, searching for an immediate exit strategy before that final enrichment threshold is crossed. To force a rapid end to the war, President Donald Trump is actively weighing an extreme military option, a direct, physical heist of that entire 450-kilogram uranium stockpile. International Atomic Energy Agency Director Rafael Grossi has indicated that the bulk of this material is held within active, heavily fortified Iranian nuclear facilities, primarily in Natanz and Isfahan. Pulling this off requires an operation of massive scale. The U.S. would need to establish absolute air superiority over Iranian airspace while deploying specialized nuclear engineering teams capable of handling volatile radioactive material. The most precarious phase of the plan involves putting elite American ground troops deep inside hostile territory. These special forces operators would have to physically secure the sites, pack up the material, and successfully extract it under heavy fire. It sounds like a definitive surgical solution. You steal the ingredients, you stop the bomb. But this plan relies entirely on a misunderstanding of how modern geopolitical alliances actually function. The physical removal of the uranium does absolutely nothing to erase the knowledge of the Iranian scientists who enriched it in the first place. They already know the exact process required to reach 60%. Even if the extraction is flawless, Iran's global allies are positioned to instantly nullify the American operation, acting as a geopolitical hydra, where cutting off one supply line simply prompts another to open. Former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev has already made Russia's stance clear. Moscow maintains vast stockpiles of enriched uranium and could simply hand replacement material over to Tehran. The logistics of that resupply are terrifyingly simple. 450 kilograms of replacement uranium could be loaded onto a Russian cargo plane and secretly flown into Tehran within days, entirely bypassing U.S. military efforts. And beyond direct state alliances, there is the historical reality of black market nuclear proliferation. Corrupt networks, like the one operated by Pakistani scientist A.Q. Khan, have a proven track record of smuggling nuclear secrets and materials across borders. You can deploy special forces to steal the radioactive rock, but you cannot steal the scientific expertise, and you cannot bomb the global alliances that stand ready to instantly replace it. With the surgical heist exposed as a strategic dead end, the United States and Israel are being forced to consider much darker, uglier methods of warfare to break the stalemate. Reports indicate a shift in U.S. strategy toward collective punishment. The military is preparing to target Iran's civilian lifelines, specifically electric generating grids and the water desalination plants, required to make drinking water safe. Alongside those strikes, Donald Trump has threatened severe economic warfare, signaling an intent to obliterate Iran's critical oil infrastructure and the wellheads on Karg Island. Iran holds its own catastrophic counterleverage. They have threatened to implement heavy tolls or completely blockade the Strait of Hormuz, effectively paralyzing the global shipping lanes that the world economy relies on. If the heist is abandoned and the region devolves into a grueling war over civilian infrastructure, the anxiety in Jerusalem will inevitably spike. Driven by the belief that an Iranian nuclear test is merely days away, Israel could determine that conventional warfare is too slow. That panic could force them to launch a preemptive nuclear strike of their own. There is no quick heist that fixes this crisis. The United States is trapped on an escalation ladder, caught between a futile military stunt and a devastating, uncontrollable regional war.